prove you have the physical endurance to start a basic academy training program, there are 5 tests you must pass. All tests are administered consecutively with specific start, finish, and reset times. The administrators will read the instructions before the start of the test. At the completion of each test, the administrator will record the results. The purpose of the Illinois Shuttle Run is to measure coordinated movement and speed. The passing time for this test is 18 seconds or less. To begin the shuttle run assessment, you'll start behind a set of markers placed on the track. You will start in the prone position with your head and fingertips behind the starting line located between the 2 markers on the track. There is no command for the start of this test. You are to go on your own time. Time will start when you go. Upon getting up and moving through the markers, you will sprint 30 feet to another set of cones, making sure 1 foot gets across the imaginary line between those sets of cones. Upon doing so, you'll sprint 30 feet back to the start line, rounding the center cone, weaving through the center cones to the end line, back through the center cones to the start line, setting yourself up for the final sprint, 30 feet down through another set of markers, and then sprinting back through the set of markers at the starting line. The purpose of the sit-up assessment is to measure the abdominal muscular endurance. The passing score for this test is 32 sit-ups in a minute. To begin the sit-up assessment, you'll assume the start position. The start position is bent knees at 90-degree angle, with your hands interlaced behind your head and elbows touching your knees. When the administrator says go, you'll lower yourself down, making sure your shoulder blades touch the ground and your elbows are in close to your head. Bring yourself back up to the starting position where your elbows touch your knees or beyond your knees. That will be 1 good sit-up. If you get stuck at the bottom and can't get yourself back up, you can break your grip, grab your hamstrings, pull yourself back up, reset, and start over. That sit-up will not count. Also, there is no kipping allowed in this test. Kipping is picking your hips up off the ground and driving them down to get your torso back up to where you can touch your knees. The third test in the series of 5 tests is the push-up. The purpose of the push-up assessment is to measure endurance of the upper body. The passing score for this test is 20 push-ups in 1 minute. To begin the push-up assessment, you will assume the plank position. This will be the only acceptable position through the entire assessment. No tenting will be allowed. On the command go, you will lower your body so your elbows are at 90 degrees and your upper arms are parallel to the ground. You will then return to the up position with arms fully extended and elbows locked out. This is a good push-up. You may only rest in the up position. There is no resting by arching or lowering your back. And if your knee touches the ground, the test is over. The next assessment in the series of 5 assessments will be the 1.5 mile run. To begin the 1.5 mile run, you will assume the running position behind the starting line. To pass this assessment, you'll need to run the 1.5 miles in 14 minutes 24 seconds or less. That is 6 laps around a 400-meter track. The final of the 5 assessments will be the 300-meter sprint. To begin the 300-meter sprint, you'll assume the running position behind the starting line. This is a true 300, meaning that you will have to stay in the lane that you start in the whole way. You'll need to complete this sprint in 67 seconds. Upon completion of your 300-meter sprint, the administrator will record the time in minutes and seconds.